Welcome to the first episode of the Tailgate Sports Podcast. Today here with my buddy Curtis, we're going to be going over a couple things. We're going to do a Tua Would You Rather. We're going to go over our NFC West win predictions, give you our 3 Super Bowl contenders, and give you a few NFL futures that we are going to be betting. Would you rather Tua Tagovailoa edition? Starting off with our first name, they got similar contracts. We're going to go with Jordan Love.
All right. Jordan Love, a little bit unproven still, sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple years. I like his upside, though. I'll take Jordan Love over too.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jordan Love as well. I think the upside is big. He had Aaron Rodgers in front of him for a while, really learned from one of the greats. He's coming in and with not the best of weapons last year, ended up winning a playoff game. I'll go with Jordan Love as well. Next, we got Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, even with as much as people say his playoff performance doesn't live up to his regular season performance, and the stats do back that up, can't lie, I would still definitely rather have him over Tua Tagovailoa at this point in their career.
I would take Dak as well. I'm not a big Dak fan, but I mean, at least he's won a playoff game. He's had some great regular season stats. The playoffs are iffy, but Tua also is not good in the playoffs. I'll go with Dak. Next, we got Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, I am not a big Kyler Murray fan. Until he can stay healthy for a little bit, I don't really believe in that guy. I'm not going to lie to you, so I would definitely rather have Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm going to with Kyler. I just think his upside's huge. He's way more versatile. Tua has injury history as well. I'm going to go with Kyler. Next, we got Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is easily my favorite guy on this list. Oh, maybe not easily, but I would definitely rather have Justin over Tua. I don't even think I really have to back that up with any kind of statistics.
I think Justin Herbert is one of the most overrated quarterbacks. People like to just talk about how awesome he is, but what has he really done so far? I know if he gets a couple more weapons, he finally has a good coach. He could have some upside, but I will take Justin Herbert here, but it's close.
The guy had
Next,
5,000 yards 2 years ago.
last name on the list, we got CJ Stroud. 1 year under his belt, but had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen enough from CJ Stroud to take him over Tua. I'm not going to lie to you. So,
Yeah, I would take him over to 100 times to 1. No doubt in my mind. All right, next we are going to be giving our NFC West win predictions. Starting off with the first team, we got the 49ers. They're listed at 11.5 over under.
11.5. I feel like that is a pretty easy over looking at their schedule. I really only see 4 or 5 max losses, so I would definitely hammer the over on that.
Yeah, I think the 49ers, didn't really lose much. They're coming into the season where they dominated last season. I'm going with the over here too. Next, we got the Cardinals at 6.5.
So the Cardinals, I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy. I know they got Marvin Harrison. They also signed Sean Murphy Bunting and Chris Moore this offseason. Not really needle movers to me, but I still got to win in 6, maybe 7. I'd probably take the under on that though.
I think that they have a chance to go over. I think it's possible, but I'm going to take the under. Next, we got the Seahawks at 7.5.
Seahawks at 7.5. This is another one. I'm not a big fan of the Seahawks this year. I got them going under. I see them barely winning 5 games.
I also think they are going under. I think the Geno Smith hype died out last season. I don't think he's going to really make any moves. I'm going under as well. And our last team, we got the Rams at 8.5.
Rams at 8.5. I know you're a big fan of the Rams. They lost Aaron Donald this year. I think that's going to be a big hit to their defense, as much as people want to act like it's not. They still could hit that over. I went over their schedule. I slotted them at 10 wins. That'll get them probably into the playoffs even. So their key games are really going to be against Seattle. They're in division games against Seattle, and then a few of their games against better teams they're going to have to win. But they could do it. I'd hit the over.
I'm also taking the over here. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think the Aaron Donald is going to take a hit, but the offense is phenomenal. The coaching is phenomenal. I'm going to go with the over there. Next, we're going to give 3 NFL Super Bowl contenders we have. My 3 NFL Super Bowl contenders I have right now, I'm going to go with the 49ers at 1. I just think, like I said, this team really didn't get worse. They made it last year. Offensively and defensively, they're top 5. I think they're going to be a contender. I also think the Chiefs, I would feel kind of dumb if I didn't put them up there. Like, they just keep winning and keep winning. They got a real wide receiver one, in my opinion, with Hollywood Brown. I'm going with them for my second. And then, not biased, I'm going with the Bills here. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They don't have that pressure on their shoulders they've had for the last couple of years. And Josh Allen, instead of having one guy who he's consistently going to, he has a bunch of weapons. He could really mix it up on the field, get the defense kind of looking for who he's going to go to, because before, they could really just lock down 2 guys. I think that the Bills are going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Big. All right, so my number 1. So we are going like first, second. Okay. So my number 1 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't. I haven't felt like a team could three-peat in my life as much as I feel like this team is probably going to three-peat after adding weapons to what they did last year. So that is what it is. But then in second, I got the San Francisco 49ers. As long as Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, I don't know if they're going to have Ayuk all year, but that team is just so stacked from top to bottom. With Brock Purdy being underrated, I think he's still got something to prove. I think the 49ers are going to do well again this year. And then 3, I wavered between the Bengals and the Bills, but I think I got to give it to the Bengals right now just because of all the moves they made and how much they've upgraded their offensive line. I like the Trent Brown signing. I like the Mike Gesicki signing. Nobody really talked about Mike Gesicki signing. He hasn't really done much in the last year or two, but I like that. Joe Burrow's finally looking decent in practice. I like the Bengals at 3, but I think Josh Allen is going to have an MVP caliber season this year, and the Bills are something to look out for, though.
Top 3 not too different, but yeah, I could see the Bengals doing really well if they stay healthy. I'm not sure how T. Higgins is feeling in the offense. It's going to be a little bit to adapt. They don't have Joe Mixon, but they're going to be a good team. Our last little segment we got. These are 3 NFL future bets we are going to be placing this season. Starting off with my first one, I got George Pickens over 1,500 receiving yards. From his rookie year to his second year, he really made a huge jump in production. He had 800 his first year, 1,100 his second. Now he has a real quarterback coming in. He did that with Kenny Pickett last year, and they weren't even sure what was going on with that squad. I think he's going to hammer this. He's going to get a real big opportunity, and he's going to have over 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah, I like that. I think George Pickens is going to have a real breakout year. Even though he had a great year last year, I think he's going to have an even better year this year. The only one that I could really come up with for the whole season right now is Josh Allen over 3,750.5 yards. It's minus 120 right now. I think that is an easy hammer on the over. I don't see how you could even think anything different, to be honest. But
I know he hasn't had a passing yard season under 4,000 yards since like 2019, 2018. I think people are really underrating him. He's got targets. He's going to be passing the ball.
yeah,
My last one.
Stephon Diggs lost to heart.
Yeah, I don't understand that. My last one is Marvin Harrison Jr. over 1,500 receiving yards. I just think the production and the target share is going to be insane. I think Kyler's going to be hitting him more times than not. He's going to be getting an insane amount of targets. And this is just one of those guys coming out of college. He's a dog, and he's going to be a great receiver. Those are all our segments for today. This is our first episode of the TheTailgate Sports Podcast. Tune in next week for episode 2.